Hello there guys, and welcome back to Sean on Sports. I hope you're all well. So today we're into boxing, and today's video is going to be a preview for the Unified Heavyweight Championship of the World. Anthony Joshua versus Jarrell Miller. Now, I am quite a big boxing fan. I like to think I know quite a lot about boxing. So in this video I shall guide you through how I think the fight will go, and ultimately who I think will win. So let's get cracking. Forgive me, I've just got my iPad here just with some notes I've written down, so I don't have any awkward silences. So let's get cracking. So as we know, both of these guys are undefeated. With Anthony Joshua, he is, as we all know, 22-0. And Jarrell Miller is 23-0. So if you're looking at that purely of their records, pretty impressive. But let's not be fooled by that, as we know boxing is full of padded records and where promoters protect their fighters. However, I would say as a caveat to that, Eddie Hearn has basically done the opposite with Anthony Joshua. He's thrown him in the deep end ever since his first big fight. You would say probably was Dylan White, where for the British title. I'm pretty sure that was his first pay-per-view he headlined as well. And then of course, not long after, challenging Charles Martin for the IBF. At the time, Charles Martin was a bit of an unknown quantity. But as we know now, he has had a few setbacks. Jarrell Miller, on the other hand, he's a big guy. I think he's about 24 stone. So don't be surprised when you see him head to head that Anthony Joshua is a significantly smaller man in terms of thickness, shall we say. Jarrell Miller, for its worth, his biggest win is probably his last win, or a couple of wins ago, against Marius Wack and also Thomas Adamak, albeit Thomas Adamak is more of a cruiserweight. So, getting back to the main fight, how do I think it will go? I think Anthony Joshua will win. As we know, this isn't the main fight we wanted. We wanted Joshua versus Deontay Wilder, but boxing politics, obviously that's not going to happen. And we also probably wanted the White rematch also, but again, boxing politics, purses and whatnot, that's not happening for one reason or another. So I see this fight being fairly straightforward for Anthony Joshua. Jarrell Miller is quite easy to hit from what I've seen of him. If sort of Adamak or Marius Wack had a bit of power about them, or had a decent jab or something, potentially they could have beat Jarrell Miller. He's got power, but I don't think he's a huge threat to Joshua. I think Joshua will deal with him quite handily in probably 3 or 4 rounds. The only interesting thing would be is how Joshua reacts fighting someone so much heavier than him, because I believe, apart from the Dillian White fight, Joshua has been the heaviest man in the ring against his opponents, so that's going to be interesting. One other thing I would say is Jarrell Miller, as I say, he has a tendency of getting hit, and it's going to be interesting to see how he reacts against someone that can punch, because Jarrell Miller has sort of had it his own way earlier in his career. He was sort of an unknown until probably around 14-15 months ago, when Eddie Hearn signed Danny Jacobs in America and launched his Matchroom USA platform, and then he sort of started to co-promote Jarrell Miller then, and then he's sort of since become a household name. Not for boxing fans over here, but certainly for the hardcore fans, people that know their boxing certainly knows who Jarrell Miller is. As I say, I think it'll be over in 3 or 4 rounds. It'll be good exposure to the US market for AJ, which Eddie Hearn obviously wants, having signed Joshua to DAZN, the broadcast platform over there. So it's going to be interesting to see how it goes. Obviously, we're not anticipating Joshua to lose, and one suspects his next fight will be in sort of autumn, around September, October, because I think gone are the days now where Anthony Joshua has 3 fights a year, just purely because of the training camps and the sort of calibre he's in with now. I wouldn't say a loss is the end of the world for Jarrell Miller. I think he can certainly potentially win a world heavyweight title. I don't know what's going on between Fraser Quendo and Manuel Charr at the moment, but potentially if he gets a few good wins, and he can certainly come back and win that version of the world title. And also in the future we don't know what will happen with all of Joshua's belts, because I'm sure he doesn't particularly want to do a Klitschko and face mandatory after mandatory. I'm sure he wants to be in big fights and fill out those stadiums as he's been doing so far. Just off of Joshua and Miller quickly, it's been announced today, this is Monday, I'm recording this if you're watching, Tyson Fury, he has just signed a co-promotional deal with Bob Arum and Top Rank. So that is interesting, because how will that affect negotiating in a potential fight with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua, given the fact they are both signed to their respective networks, Joshua Sky Sports and Deontay Wilder Showtime/Fox. And does this mean that Frank Warren has less of a say in Tyson Fury's career now? It'd be interesting. Is this a sign that Frank Warren may be starting to relinquish his power as Fury's promoter? Obviously it is, and I see in the release as well that Fury has an exclusive contract with BT also. Again, if a potential Anthony Joshua fight comes up, that won't happen because Joshua's got his contract with Sky and Fury now has one with BT. So, rambling on a bit now, but thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe and all that good stuff. I shall put my Twitter down below. Follow me on there. Thanks for watching.